how we get paid. Now look, I know I say how we get paid. I'm not in the industry in it anymore, but I still feel like I'm representing. So, here's the thing. I want you to understand, first of all, that this is a very complex video for me to do. And it's difficult for me to explain. It really is. I'm having difficulty with it. All my other videos have been very candid. I've been raw videos. I'm doing as little editing as possible. And this one I have to edit. I have to go back and do it again. I just am having difficulty with it. So I need you to help me. Help me help you, okay? Here's the thing. You in the industry, come back, tell me what I'm missing, explain specifically what's going on. You're not exposing anybody, you're not getting anybody in trouble. It's just all you're doing is explaining how you get paid, okay? And then those of you that are not in the industry, tell me, Jason, you're missing this, you're missing that. I'm not quite understanding where you're coming from with that. I think personally, if I was not in the industry, I think it'd be pretty cool to know how people get paid. I think it's important. In anything, you make a computer, you build a desk, you build a house. How are you getting paid? Okay, so I'm going to explain what the loan officers and stockbrokers. It's quite interesting. Here's the thing. Pretty much across the board, it's 100% commission. And if you're not making 100% commission, you're probably not making a whole lot of money. You need to watch the movie Boiler Room. That's really how it is. Boiler Room Wall Street, of course, not a good one. But it really is. Here are the keys to my Ferrari. I drive a mother Ferrari. But that's how it is. Watch the movie. You know what I'm talking about, okay? I don't drive a Ferrari. But, if this is a money-motivated industry. Financial services is just how it is, okay? It's big bucks. If you're not making six figures, get the hell out of my office. Go across the street. That's how it is. And the banks typically, you need to understand that you're not going to make as much at a bank as you would at a brokerage, whether it be mortgage brokerage or a stock brokerage. Now, for an actual loan officer, there are 3 different ways you can get paid, all based on fees, okay? I'm basing this on $100,000. Fees. Think of fees. You're not getting paid on $100,000, you're getting paid on fees, okay? Now, you're going to have average on $100,000, maybe you're going to have it to $5,000 in total fees, okay? Now, if you're getting 50% commission, you get about $2,500 on a loan for that size of a loan, okay? Now, you're going to get bumped up on volume too, depending on whatever. Now, here's the deal: you got origination fee, maybe you have a broker fee, and then of course you get yield spread, YSP. I'm not supposed to talk about that, considering I was in the industry. It's supposed to be quiet, right? You little crooks. And then SRP, servicing release premium. That's like never disclosed. You don't even need to, I guess you don't need to disclose it or something like that. Yield spread, for example, is POC. You're gonna see that on the HUD. It's like not in the actual. It's on the side, but it's paid out of closing. It's not part of closing at all. It's just snuck in from the bank to the mortgage brokerage, and of course, even the banks will get kind of like a little yield spread in that too. You're gonna look at Wells Fargo, Countrywide. Of course, Countrywide's now the crooks over there at Bank of America. They took that in. What happens here? They're in a lot of these realtor shops, okay? And of course, they're going to sit there. The realtors they're going to refer the business over to the loan officer for Wells Fargo or Countrywide, which is now, of course, Bank of America, and they're going to get this loan, and they're 100% commissioners. Sitting there, if they're in the realtor's office, they're probably making 150 to 200. The origination fee, you can charge 1-2%, whatever. You're gonna, 1 to 2%, $1,000 to $2,000 on $100,000, okay? And of course, you're probably gonna get, 40% of that if you're 100% commission. Now, if you're working at a bank, you might be getting a little bit of salary too. I mean, I received just a little bit of a salary, and when you receive a little bit of salary, if you do 1 to 3 loans a month, you might only get like 15 to 20%. You do a few more loans, you get, it's money motivated, trying to push you to do some more, Now, you got to mix all that in though. You got to add on the yield spread. Of course, you get some bonuses for however much you do in volume. You can't work at a brokerage unless you're doing 10 grand in fees a month. Just get out. I mean, just seriously, they won't let you stay there. Basically, you're going to have a lot of prospects through lowermybills.com and lendingtree.com. Maybe you'll send some mailers to people. You're buying these leads for $45 a pop. They're good, clean leads, just a day old, whatever. Maybe those mailers are getting these things at 2, 3, 4, 5 cents a piece. You're mailing out, I'm telling you, if your phones are ringing, boom, 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 boom. Maybe you're making the phone calls through a telemarketer, and the telemarketer's giving you live transfers. You're getting, you might pay $100 for this, maybe really good. They'll even, actually have relationship with Equifax, for example. They'll just go ahead and send an actual credit report to the mortgage brokerage or the bank, and they'll see it, and they'll say, okay, I'm going to call you up, and I'm like, hey, I saw you pull, you had somebody pull your credit. I got a deal for you. I see all your information. How do you have all my information? Well, the credit bureau reporting agencies, they sell it to us. Oh, okay. And the people they're out there getting that information. Okay. Now, you get the mortgage brokerages. They're you're really rarely gonna get anybody making more than 60%. Now, if you're gonna get 60% and it's 100%, you can get that. And that's because you're probably providing your own leads. Okay. I worked at a company, Millennium Bank, NA, for example. They were under the guise of this federal charter and all that, do business all over the country without getting state-specific licenses. And I got 100% commission, and you had to pay $500 per closed deal and 30 basis points per closed deal, so they can get both, flat fee, and then of course, if it's a $100,000 loan, you got to pay $300 on that. And then of course, I got SRP. Countrywide, InterFirst, we had correspondent relationships with a lot of different banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, Crooks over there, and then of course they did a ton of business. Countrywide was just all over the place. InterFirst, those two ones, okay, Countrywide and InterFirst. We did so much business with these guys that we would get like 1.4% SRP. It's $1,400 on a $100,000. It's even better one on a $500,000, $900,000 loan. You get to the point sometimes if you're a really good loan officer, you just won't do anything less than $400,000 or $500,000. It's just not worth your time, So, you got people that are making maybe, like Quicken Loans, for example. You might have 3 to 5 people who are making $300,000. They have maybe a few hundred loan officers at Cleveland office and their Detroit office total. Okay, on average, they're making 60 to 70. That average is lower than $100,000 because you got a bunch of guys coming in there. They're just going to come in and be out in the first few months. Turnover is just crazy high. They might make just a few, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Okay, it's absolutely money motivated. I hope I explained the 3 different ways. Now, of course, you get the yield spread, which is interesting. You might have today, for example, a 30-year rate, fixed rate would be like 4.75, from 4.75 to 5.5. Okay, I don't know, whatever it is right now. It changes on the hour. But let's say the par rate, which is even, you don't pay anything for it, okay? You don't get anything paid for it at the back. Yield spread is at the back, okay? It's outside of closing. It might be 4.75 as a par. You can buy it. I'm supposed to be quiet about this. I'm not supposed to say this. I'm supposed to be quiet. Discount it. Might buy it down a little bit to 4.5%. You pay a 1 point extra up front, and that's actually in the discount fee side of it. I don't know what over line that would be in the HUD. But you can actually raise that rate to like 5.375 or 5.5% and get paid like 2 or 3 at the back to the broker or to the bank or to the loan officer. That's kind of how that works, and that's another, I don't know how to explain this, it's so complex. Somebody help me, please. But, you're going to get $5,000, $6,000, and typically, I was recruited by, because my resume's out there in different websites. I'm recruited by the loan sharks of Skybank. They're owned by the Crooks now in Huntington. And then you get the loan sharks at Fifth Third. They recruited me, and they wanted your first 2 months you might get a draw, and then of course you're 100% commission. You can get 20%, I think is what it was. Maybe. I know a guy at the Sky, for example, he got 25% commission. First 2 months was 100% draw, and then of course you pay off that draw once you make your commission. I'm trying, man. That's how I explain it. But remember, boiler room.